All right, everybody, welcome to another episode of Film Room with Coach E, where we break down the film from the previous week of the Browns game. This one being week 2, Cleveland Browns versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Cleveland Browns versus the Jacksonville Jaguars week 2 action. We had a lot of fireworks. We got a couple plays I want to point out. Starting right here in the first quarter, the Cleveland Browns are on defense. It is 14:26 left in the first quarter. This is the second play from scrimmage. We have the Jacksonville Jaguars lined up at the top of the screen. We have two receivers. We would call that twins. We have one running back and we have one receiver on the left-hand side. Now, I'm sorry, we have a tight end down at the bottom of the screen as well. I'm sorry. The receiver is at the bottom next to the 2nd and 1 sign, and right to his right is a tight end down on the line of scrimmage. So now you have the defense of Cleveland with 4 defensive linemen down, and usually Grant Delpit is a safety, so he would be further back. But like I mentioned in the episode, if you haven't heard the episode, go ahead, download it, watch it on the YouTube page. As I mentioned on the episode, the Jacksonville Jaguars really don't have a deep threat. So now we are putting a lot of people in the box. In the box meaning close to the line of scrimmage. So you can see the line of scrimmage is the 29-yard line where the blue line is. The first down is that yellow line. So when you say you have a lot of people in the box, a lot of defenders in the box, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 people in the box trying to stop the run because Jacksonville does not have a deep threat as far as wide receiver. So you're going to trust your corners to play that very close press coverage and Denzel playing off coverage so he can get anything that goes deep. So let's push play here. Usually we're going to see some kind of blitz out of this formation when you see anybody in 2nd and 1 or run blitz to try and stop the run and get a play for loss. So we're going to push play here. You have Grant Delpit walking around, getting close to the line of scrimmage. And this is what I call my cowboy blitz. You have him blitzing in the B gap. The B gap meaning it is between the guard and the tackle. That would be the B gap. So he blitzed right up in the B gap and made it in the backfield to tackle Travis Etienne for a loss and get them behind the sticks on the 3rd down. So now they was anticipating getting the first down with that run play because it was only first down. It was only 2nd down with 1 yard to go. But Schwartz called a great blitz, perfect timing by the players, came in there and made a stop behind the line of scrimmage to deter them to get that first down. So once again, you can see Grant Delpit getting close to the line of scrimmage. He's timing it up. And as well on the left-hand side, Jordan Hicks, he's the linebacker. He also was blitzing in the B gap on the opposite B gap. So they just timed it up and got the tackle for loss perfectly. That's exactly how you want to see it get done when you make that call like that as a defensive coordinator. Waste no time. Everybody just go to where you need to be, make a complete stop, and then get everybody on 3rd down so you can send some more pressure and make them go in the passing down. So great play right there by the defense. Any questions, fellas?
Why the hell didn't Goldilocks audible that play? Where was his Omaha?
Well, that just goes if the coach gives him that kind of freedom to do so. I don't know if he has that freedom, but you're right. He could have got out of there and called a pass play or a play action fake to get them to bite on that blitz, and then he can just dump it right over their head and try and go to another route. But clearly they don't trust him like that. I don't believe if they did, they would have allowed him to audible it. So you got to live and die with the play call.
Yeah, he died.
All right, so fast forward. It's 8:33 in the first quarter. The Cleveland Browns have the ball on offense. We are right here with trips to the right, meaning Jerry Jeudy is the receiver at the bottom of the screen next to, I want to say that's, who is that?
Look like Cedric Tillman.
Okay.
Tillman, 19.
Yeah, we got Jerry Jeudy next to Cedric Tillman, next to the tight end that is in the backfield. And then we have Up at the top, that is number 8, uh, Moore, Elijah Moore, and you have Jerome Ford in the backfield. Now, this play, I questioned Stefanski's play call, and I just wanted to see if anybody else felt like this. This is a reverse. So he's going to hand the ball off to Jerome Ford, and he's going to take it out to the outside and pitch it back to Jerry Jeudy. In my opinion, I think this is kind of a bad call just because it's 1st and 10. You want to stay positive in this situation on the 45-yard line going into the end zone. And this is just a play that could be murky at times where it could be mishandling of the ball between Deshaun Watson and Ford or between Ford and Jerry Jeudy on the reverse. And as another thing, when you're running a reverse like this, the receiver has to take the right course and make the right angle so he doesn't get too deep. So he's coming back towards the line of scrimmage way too far behind the line of scrimmage. So the line of scrimmage being that blue line that the ball is on, Jerry Jeudy is going to get the ball past the 50-yard line. So now you're already looking at about a 6 or 7-yard loss from when he's getting the ball. And now he has to make a play and make people miss off of that. So that's why I think this is a questionable call right here. When you already had the run game going pretty good in the game, you just want to, like I said, keep everything positive and not be behind the sticks like we were against the Cowboys, meaning that's why we had so many negative plays. So let's let this run here, and let's see the course that Jerry Jeudy takes.
I'm actually glad you picked this play.
So he got the ball, and he went back to the opposite 45-yard line. Mind you, we snapped the ball on the 45-yard line. So that's the murky part that I was thinking about. Like, you shouldn't really call it right there because you can get way behind schedule with this. I think he went way too deep. He should have been closer to Jerome Ford and not making that toss go back behind the line of scrimmage so far. You want to get positive. You want to get vertical as soon as possible. And on top of that, it was a holding call on that just because you have no idea where that receiver is going to come from as an offensive lineman. So you just know you have to hold your guy up for longer than anticipated because it's a reverse, meaning it's 2 handoffs. So you had to hand off to Ford, tossing it back to Jerry Jeudy. And now as an offensive lineman, you got to hold that block for at least 2 to 3 extra beats. So that's what led to the holding call of 66 Hudson. So that's what I always talk about with Kevin Stefanski and his play calling, where it's kind of touch and go. I think he should have just left it basic for them to pick up positive yards and continue this drive in a positive way. But we ended up getting back on track later on in that drive. But this is one that we just have to stay away from in order to just stay positive and keep a rhythm going of a good drive that we already had.
I have a question for you, E, about this play.
Yes, sir.
I think you see Watson say something to the tight end, and then he's signaling down the line.
Yes.
Tillman kind of looked a little confused. Could it be that Watson changed the play based off of the 3 linebackers in the middle of the field? You see how they favor kind of to the left side a little bit
towards the trips
instead of direct. Yeah, mm-hmm. So it's like if Watson did call, I don't think it's bad. I think what he was seeing could have actually been a really good play if that was the case. But I think Jeudy didn't execute it correctly and looked like somebody else missed a block too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The execution part on Judy's end is the just bad course that he took. Like, he went way too deep. I think without that, it could have had a chance to go, but I think that's just comes from Jerry Jeudy probably being uncomfortable with running that play. He's usually not a reverse guy. We usually use Elijah Moore for a play like that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I'm looking at like those 3, they favor towards the trips, like you said. But then also you see the man coverage up top, and then you see the one guy's back like 12 yards. Look like the safety. He back. So yeah, I think that could have been actually a decent play if Jeudy would have ran it right.
And not to mention, like I said, you just gotta rely on the offensive lineman to hold his block up even longer than what he already has to against a very athletic defensive front that the Jaguars do have. Whether if they play good or bad, you still got to be athletic in those small areas with those big athletic guys. So and plus, That's James Hudson. He's not a good tackle. He's not one of our best tackles. He's actually like the second or third string. So you're putting a guy in a bad situation that he's not normally comfortable with doing. So that's just something we have to eliminate in order to just keep getting positive plays and positive outcomes from the plays that we call.
Gotcha. The Joes.
Definitely the Joes. We got third. I'm sorry. We have 2nd and 20 here with the Browns going on offense. We have Deshaun Watson back in the pocket. Now, if you listen to the episode that we just got done doing, and that is out now on Spotify and YouTube for you to listen and watch, we were talking about how you can tell when a quarterback is comfortable in the pocket. He's back there and he has that bounce. He's looking and reading the field and surveying for the open guy. He has that bounce in his step. So Deshaun Watson, back in the day, everybody was so happy when we got him because he could make a play out of nothing else being there. So he's back there surveying the field. The pocket breaks down. And unlike last week, he doesn't panic. He actually gets into his comfort zone and scrambles to his strong hand, which is the right hand. And Jerry Jeudy, it looks like he's running an over route and he sees Deshaun scrambling. So he kicks it into the scramble drill, runs to the sideline, runs to the sticks. So he makes sure he has the first down. So everybody that was questioning Deshaun Watson's arm strength, he puts it on display in this play because he had to get that play. I mean, he had to get that ball out there on a line in order to fit it in between that corner and that safety. Because that's another reason why it made me believe that they're in cover two, because that corner was under that route and that safety was on top of that route, kind of like a bracket situation over Jerry Jeudy. But like I said, he had a sit down route in the middle of the field, but he saw Deshaun Watson scrambling to his right. So he broke that route off, ran to the sideline, made himself available, and Deshaun Watson, being a good athlete, throwing that ball on the line, getting tipped by the corner, and still had enough zip to get through that corner's hands and make it to Jerry Jeudy and catch it before he went out of bounds. So these are the type of plays that I was very excited about when we acquired Deshaun Watson, because I know he could do this. And in today's NFL, like I was talking about before, with the defensive linemen being such good athletes, that you need a guy that's going to be able to do this pretty much not every play, but it's especially when you need to have a broken play turn into something positive. So this is what you can tell he was very comfortable early in the game with the play selection and the game plan that they put together for the Jaguars, and he completed a great pass to get a first down off of a bad drive play from that reverse that we already highlighted. Got anything, B?
Y'all, I was excited too because this is where he thrive at. Looking at that same play, to me, it looked like he was definitely waiting for more to break, but that lineman on that right side got his ass whooped, thrown to the ground,
Yeah.
broke up the play. Yeah, so he improvised, but yeah, that's why I call him the chaos quarterback. This is his strong sport. But this is a big play too because of what Jeudy did. Like you said, that's what he had in Houston with D Hop. D Hop broke route a lot of times. Jeudy looked like he gonna be the man to do it because he actually broke his route, turned around, and ran towards the sideline, towards the strong hand. So that's where they can thrive right there. I like it.
And that's what I was saying before, where I know that Dorsey will have plays in his repertoire to allow Deshaun to do that. But I don't know if Stefanski is comfortable with stuff like that. But eventually he's going to have to get comfortable because
that's a good point.
Yeah, I just think that that's a strong suit that we have to use with him in order to get the full value of him.
Because True. Hey, you are 100% correct because I don't think he's as comfortable under center as this. You know what I mean? Because I ain't gonna sit here and act like our line don't break down like they did on this play. I mean, if they didn't break down on this play, I see a huge completion potential on the other sideline.
Yeah.
To more. So, yeah, this was good.
All right, now we got the second quarter with 10 minutes and 2 seconds left. The Browns driving again. It is 3rd and 6, so this is a huge play right here. They're on the 36-yard line going in. We are in a shotgun formation with Jerome Ford in the backfield with Deshaun Watson. You got Akins on the right-hand side as a tight end, and you have Jerry Jeudy at the top of the screen. You have at the bottom of the screen by the 3rd and 6th logo, you have Amari Cooper. And at the bottom of the screen, you have Elijah Moore. So we are going to go, and just like last week, how we got burnt on defense, that slot guy, which is Amari Cooper on this play, is going to run that corner route and going to break free from that defense. They look like they're playing some sort of cover 4. It could be cover 4 because I see the guy at the top of the screen on the 0 from the 30-yard line and the safety right next to him. And then the guy right over Amari Cooper by the 3rd and 6th sign, he's off the ball. And that corner at the bottom of the screen is a little bit off the ball as well. So cover 4, meaning those 4 guys that I just talked about, the corner, the safety, the other corner in the slot, and the bottom corner, is going to have 4 different parts of the field. That is cover 4. So the top of the field guy will have from the sideline to the numbers. The safety next to him will have from the numbers to the hash. The corner next to the safety will have from the hash to the other hash. And then the corner at the bottom will have from the sideline to the numbers. So that's splitting it up. Cover 4, meaning 4 areas of the field will be covered. So let's roll this play and see what happens. Watson is letting them know about who he thinks is blitzing. He calls for Moore to go in motion to see what covers they're in. They are in some kind of cover 4. Amari Cooper breaks free on that corner route and just doesn't look the ball in, totally drops it. If he catches that, possibly, very high percentage, he can break this tackle from this safety coming down and score a touchdown. But I guess he took his hands off the ball and tried to catch it with his nubs. That wasn't good enough. He's usually a sure hand receiver, and a lot of people was just saying, like, he hasn't been right ever since we, quote unquote, threatened to trade him. He's taking it personal, and he's not been engaged in the game. But that's just a flat out drop, if you ask me. So I don't think there's any feelings involved with that. He's trying to make Deshaun look bad. Just think he jumped when he didn't need to jump and kind of like threw off his perception of the ball, so to say. So I believe 100% if he's put in that position again, he'll make that play the rest of the time. So I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Well, clearly there's something wrong with it because it's a drop, but just saying we got to be better, man.
Agreed. No forearm catches.
We definitely don't need forearm catches. All right, we got the Browns defense right here. 6 minutes and 41 seconds left in the second quarter, right before halftime. We have a 10-0 lead. So this is a very big play. It can change the game either way. If you make this play, hell of a half. You could possibly score again. If you don't make this play, they can possibly score again. So we have a very tight formation with the Jaguars. You have the receiver at the top of the screen close to the tight end. The tight end is kneeled down in a 3-point stance right next to the receiver. And you also have Christian Kirk at the bottom of the screen, number 13. He's very close to the offensive tackle. And then you have the receiver, Gabe Davis, on the 2nd and 7 sign, trying to split out a little bit wide. But you can tell they're trying to do something, either play action or a possible run play, because they are so tight like that to make you think run, run, run. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys on the line of scrimmage for the Browns. You have 3 people in the middle of the field, aka linebackers and safety, and you got Martin Emerson at least about 9-10 yards off of the ball, and you have the safety deep about 15 yards off of the ball. So it looks like they're in some kind of zone. Could be cover 3. This looks to be cover 3. The 2 linebackers will have hook to curl. That bottom corner, he will have the flats. The flats meaning down by the 30-yard line, closer to the score at the bottom of the screen. That's the flats area of the field. And the bottom corner, that's right next to the 30 right now, would have deep third. Remember, I just said cover 4 is 4 parts of the field. Cover 3 is 3 parts of the field. So Martin Emerson at the top of the screen, right by the arrow, by the 30-yard line, he will have from that number, the 30, on over to the sideline. The middle safety will have from that number to the other number, the middle of the field. and that bottom corner would have from that number 30 all the way to that sideline. So those are the three parts of the field that they are splitting it into. In the middle linebacker, he would have hook to curl. Hook to curl meaning about 7 to 8 yards off of the line of scrimmage in the middle of the field, and that other linebacker that's next to him would have the other side next to him hook to curl. So you have everything covered where you need to be. So let's see how this play plays out. Let's see if we call the right coverage and right scheme in order to bait the Jaguars into doing what we want them to do. So he's bluffing like he's blitzing. Grant Delpit is down at the bottom of the screen. They just circled him. He did end up blitzing. And yes, that was a cover 3, all-out blitz. Martin Emerson reads it perfectly, makes a play on the ball, breaks on the ball. Now, I admit it was raining at this part of the game, but he should still make this play because, like I said, this is a game-changing play. He could possibly get up and take that to the house, or if he doesn't fall, he just picks it off, takes it to the house, 17-0 going into halftime. He has to make that play. He made a great effort, a great read. You just got to capitalize on that. Those are the plays that we need to make as a defense to solidify us as the great defense that everybody has picked us to be. Without those plays being made, we're just an average defense. But he did everything right. He studied the film right. He made the break that he wanted to make. He just has to finish that play and not let that ball go.
Man, great breakdown. Because that's exactly what he did too. He broke right on that ball at the perfect time.
Because he knew he had the coverage because it was a zero blitz, meaning way more people blitzing than they had to block. So he knew Trevor Lawrence had to get the ball out. The receiver had no time to run a deep route. So once he saw him make that out towards the sideline, he knew he had to break on it because he wasn't going anywhere else. So it was perfect play, perfect read, just not a good execution on catching the pick, man. But I got full confidence in him, just like I said with Mark Cooper, that next time he'll make that play.
Yeah, I stopped it at a great because Trevor Lawrence is telegraphing the hell out of this pass.
He kind of has no choice because of that zero blitz. So he has to look where he's throwing, or it's just going to be a horrible throw. It was already behind him. It was already behind him too. So
Emerson looking at him and he looking at the guy like this. Man, this crazy.
And actually, as a good quarterback, you want to throw that to the sideline. So if one guy can catch it, it'll be your guy. If you throw it behind him, just like he did, possibility for an interception, pick 6, which should have happened. But like I said, I got full confidence in Martin Emerson to make that play another time and take it to the house. He has done it before, so he has a track record that'll make me believe that that's what he would have done. Nice. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to another Film Room with Coach E. Like I said, I hope I broke everything down good enough so you can understand. And now next week, I have a test for you. I will get back on here and do the same thing, Browns versus the Giants. But I want you to watch the game and see if you can point out little stuff that I've been teaching you throughout the last 2 episodes of Film Room with Coach E. So tell me if you can see what coverages they're in, judging from what I told you about cover 4, cover 3, and cover 2. See if it's man coverage and see if you can pick out what offense the Browns are going to run. What is it going to be, a run play? Is it going to be a pass play? So please remember all of that stuff, and I will be quizzing you on it next week, so pay attention. Once again, thank you for listening and watching. Have a good day. See you next week.